Hi guys, welcome back to Planet Coaster, where we're carrying on with our Mario Galaxy ride. Before we get started, if there's any shred of hope in this world that you could just hit that like button for me, it would mean the world. And consider subscribing, that would mean the world too. We are actually, I think we're only one episode away from the finale, and then the ride will come out. So I'm confident I will be able to do it just in time before Planet Coaster 2 releases, which is great because at one point I was super stressed that I wouldn't get this done in time. We are finally at the Bowser section, so this was a lot of fun to make, I'm not gonna lie. It took a long time to make. It's a very, I'd say, ambitious area, and it's like a good portion of the entire ride actually, because when you pair it with the boss battle, it's just the whole build up to Bowser and the final ending. I think it works pretty well. It's quite epic and dramatic, which is just how I wanted, which is how it is in the game actually, to be fair. Every video that I've made, apart from the last one, I had written down what I would say, and in the last video that I made, because I was so rushed, I was like, I don't have any time for that. So I thought I'm gonna keep up that new tradition, I suppose, and just talk without a script, and I think it's quite natural. I mean, I'm sure I can keep up with talking for at least a couple more minutes. But yeah, basically I had like a reference video that I was watching of the final battle. Even though I've done it plenty of times, it's always those little details that you forget. So yeah, I had that up and I was basically just trying to copy it. So obviously we start off with the area where it's like castle ruins-ish, with the Bowser statues and the flamethrowers and the spotlight, which basically acts as the gravity. So as the spotlight moves, you will stick to whatever surface it's shining on, so that's why I have those spotlights there. There's been a lot of TMTK used in this episode, like a lot. I'm not ashamed to say it, okay? There's just some things that it would take so much longer if I made it myself. But the bulk of it I'd say I made myself, especially later on. You'll see the more we get into it. Like these giant balls, that's what she said, were from the Steam Workshop, and I basically took them and used them as a base for a lot of stuff. So later on when I have an entire fire planet, I basically just use that as a guide to figure out, oh, how did this person make that? And then I would take it and then make it into my own, like that right there. So it was basically just a bunch of magma panels placed in like a spherical shape. And of course, in traditional Planet Coaster fashion, when you overlap some effects, they glitch out really weirdly, but I don't care at this point. I think it looks fine. I tried deleting some to not have that overlap happen, but it just looked too empty and a bit see-through, so I was like, okay, I'd rather the planet look more fuller but be glitchy than not be glitchy and be empty. So the whole like point of this part of the ride is basically to reenact the final level, which is where Mario goes from planet to planet via these like blue beams, and each planet is like a different platforming challenge. So the first one is the gravity with the spotlights. Then he goes over the lava, and then he goes over to like this ice place where the path connects up as Mario walks towards it. Then what does it do off the top of my memory? I think it's this one. Yeah, I think he goes to the like sandy area with the pokies. And then yeah, he goes through some areas where the gravity is directional, so like the ceiling, you would stick to it, or if you're on the ground then you stick to the ground, but it changes. Like there's a harsh line that shows where you need to jump to avoid the fire bars. So yeah, I'd done that, and then I started working on the final bit before you actually get to Bowser himself, which is this giant like lava tube thing, which, can I say, absolutely destroyed my PC. Even now when you go through the ride, you can feel the frame rate just drop because it's just so many effects on the screen at the same time. I'm not sure if there was a better way to do this, but I could have just used like red panels, but then you wouldn't have that like kinetic movement, which I quite like from the effects. So yeah, bit of a performance hit, but I think it still looks okay, and basically just placed the little paths that Mario walks around. And of course it was a bit tricky because obviously in this part of the level you can like go all around the tube, so you can like be upside down but then not actually view it as upside down because the camera changes with you. So trying to build upside down was a bit tricky. But yeah, I got all the fonts and the bullet bills and the Bowser statues. And yeah, like I was saying in the last episode, please do not expect to not have whiplash or a broken back or a broken neck if you were to ride this ride in real life. I've tried my best to smooth it, and there's even been times where I wanted to add certain elements and I've just had to remove them because it's just not smooth, and I don't get how the smoothing works. Like, I've watched so many videos, and I'm sorry, I'm on like a 10-minute ride now, and if I used the 4-meter or 2-meter method where you build in tiny pieces and then smooth them one by one, I would literally be here until Planet Coaster 3, no joke. We'll just have to put up with the slight jankiness of certain parts of the ride. And as I mentioned in my last episode, I am using the fog a lot more, and I found these cool little glowing orb things that I just placed everywhere. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly sidetrack for a moment and just talk about like what I've been feeling, I suppose, with regards to like YouTube and like this series and stuff. So for those who don't know, you'll see that I have quite a few subscribers, even though I've lost like 1,000 in the last year. But basically I had a channel dedicated to making compilation videos of another YouTuber. It's my first video on the channel, basically explaining what happened if you haven't seen that. And yeah, basically I had that channel for about 7-8 years, and I like would have videos that, one video in particular had 500,000 views, and I was monetized. Life was good, basically. And YouTube came along and was like, no, you can't do that. And fair enough, I got it. Like, obviously it wasn't my content, it was someone else's YouTube videos, and I was just clipping them up, making compilations, but obviously people loved them, and I kept doing them. And it was like a win-win because I like enjoyed watching that particular YouTuber, and I enjoyed editing, so it was like fun just to make videos that I thought people would like to see. And yeah, and basically I got hit with my channel is no longer eligible for monetization, and reason for that was for reused content. So I was like, okay, fine. Basically deleted all the videos and started a gaming channel, basically. Hence why I've seen some people say, how do you have so many subscribers but like hardly any views or watch time? That would explain why. So yeah, it's been a bit like sucky, and I feel like normally my Planet Coaster videos break at least 100 views, and as of the time of this recording, my last 3 Planet Coaster videos have not got that many views, and it is like quite discouraging. Like, obviously I'm not doing it for the views, I do it because I enjoy it and I want to document it, and I want to see if people share the same small niche of interest as me in Planet Coaster plus Mario and like Nintendo, I suppose. But at the same time, like when you're used to getting that many thousands of views in the past, and then going from that to like having no one watch your videos, it is quite disheartening. And there's been plenty of times where I've been like, I wanted to stop, I wanted to give up, but you know what, I'm not, and I'm gonna stick it out because I enjoy doing it. And to be fair, like I'm seeing loads of these new creators coming out making Planet Coaster videos, and they're getting so many more views than me, and I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? But I think I know what I'm doing wrong. These people that make Planet Coaster videos only make Planet Coaster videos, and I think that's where they're succeeding. I don't want a dedicated Planet Coaster channel because as much as I love it to bits, and I'm like such a big theme park nerd and enthusiast, I also love Nintendo, I also love PlayStation, and I'm not gonna restrict my channel. Like, I could have taken the easy way out and only focused on one platform on my YouTube channel just so that I could like get more popular or be favoured in the algorithm or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. And I think that is the part of where the downfall comes from. But yeah, even though I felt like giving up, I'm not going to, because it's something I enjoy doing. At the moment I just see it as a hobby. So yeah, I just realised I've spoken for the entire episode. Sorry for rambling, but I appreciate you listening to me if you got this far. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, there are some cinematic shots at the very end. Tune in for the next episode where we'll be battling Bowser in the final boss battle. So stay tuned, exciting stuff is coming, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!